Hello, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful, fabulous episode of Free Beer Friday. We are here with the beautiful Ben Easley of Bearded Monk.
I'm
Matt.
beautiful?
Oh, you're beautiful. You didn't know?
Oh.
Beautiful and bearded. And Matt and Laren of Rabbit Hole Brewing out of Justin, Texas.
Hola.
Hello and welcome.
Hey.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Awesome. Thanks for having us here.
Are you excited as I am?
No, we're more excited.
Oh, well, good. And,
More excited.
and I know all of our viewers and listeners, if you're listening on our app, are just as excited. So we're going to get started. And you have a really eclectic, I shouldn't say eclectic, but a really creative logo and an interesting backstory. So do you mind going into a little bit of that to let some of the people out there hear it?
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't want to name ourselves after, like, ourselves or the place we were at.
I did. But
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean, it seemed a bit pretentious. It's like the
Laren Brewing.
Laren Brewing. Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
No offense to all the other brewing people we've had on here.
But we wanted something universal, something that would really be, no matter where you were from, you would understand it. You would get it. It needed to be something that even if, because we had ambitions of brewing beer and selling it outside of the bustling metropolis of Justin, Texas. You know, we would like to be known in other places as well. And if we named it Justin Brewing Company, we were afraid it's like, we'd get out
What is that?
to Houston and Austin, and it's like, did you name it after Justin Bieber or Justin Timberlake or which Justin were you going after here? It's like, no, that's not it at all. So we wanted something that was universal, something that would really catch people's attention. So we started brainstorming. We started looking at what would be, it would give you the idea of going on a journey.
Okay.
Going someplace interesting, because that's what craft beer is for us and for so many other people. There's so many people that they had that first beer, the first craft beer that they had that wasn't the watery swill that they thought that they were told by the television that's what beer was supposed to be.
Because craft brewers can't afford commercial.
No, right. It's like, what? Wait, this is beer? I didn't know beer could be this way. And that's the start. That's the start of the journey. After that, you're discovering new breweries, new styles, new places.
You're falling down a rabbit hole.
You're falling down a rabbit hole. Yes, that's the start of it. And we don't know where it's going to go, but it's going to be an interesting, fun journey. And it's a journey we want our customers to go on with.
That's so beautiful. I love it. How did you...
And then on the other side, to finish that, is not only does it allow us to take you down the rabbit hole, but it also allows you to sit there and see what comes out of the rabbit hole.
Right.
So we can do some very fun, unique things, and it can be a story going in both directions.
That's so cool. How did you come up with the rabbit hole necessarily? Was it like a big brainstorming meeting, or you were like...
It was.
We came up with a different name, and I won't mention it, but we came up with a different name. And it was a good name, but it was already trademarked.
Oh.
And so we went back to Matt's house and brainstormed, and we came up with about 25 just absolutely horrible names.
What were some other ones? Can you remember the other ones?
Oh, I actually have the piece of paper somewhere. I got to find it, but I have the piece of paper that I was writing them down on.
You need to frame that.
Actually, I do know where it is. It's in the file. It's in a file folder behind my desk at the brewery.
Yep.
But it was things
pick
like
that up sometime.
It was things like 2-grain brewing or juicy hop brewing or so, just things that just didn't really work.
I thought of a really good one. I was doing a test batch, and I was as I was going through the motions of making beer. This was back before we even have our location, so I was doing it at the house. Everything I was doing, I was trying to what do we call the thing? It's like, okay, we're pouring the grain. We're hops brewing. That's kind of boring. I'm crushing the grain. Miller brewing. I think someone has that.
That's a great name.
It was such a good. Oh, damn, it's taken. Oh well.
So, but anyway, we came up with some really bad names, and we all went home kind of a little deflated because the name that we thought was going to be the cool name was already taken.
Yeah.
And it was probably about a week or a week and a half later, Tom, who's the third owner, he sends this email out and goes, "Man, I've got this great name. Let's call it Rabbit Hole." And, of course, he thought of the name, so he thought it was a great name. And Matt...
I wonder how he feels now.
Matt was like, that's all right, and he wasn't 100% for it or against it, but I didn't like it. I just said, no, because the way my brain works, I went to all of the weird things that could be associated with the word hole and a beer. And so, don't take that anyone who's listening, don't take that.
Are
and run
watching.
with it. But so I didn't really like it, and then we started talking to a graphic artist who developed some logos and stuff for us, named Steve Bright, phenomenal artist, and he drew some that was really conservative hunting lodge type logos, all the way to the really extreme gonzo, off the beaten path logos. And we sat there and picked out the elements that we liked and we didn't like. And then about 2 weeks later, he calls and goes, "I've got your logo." We go, "Oh, you've got 4 or 5 more to show me?" He goes, "No, I've got your logo." And we're like, "Yeah, that's pretty pretentious of you to say." And so we met him again, and he brought the logo that is now
he had this.
that logo.
Oh, wow.
And as soon as we all saw it, we went, "That's it, we're done."
3 years ago? 4 years
It was
ago?
about 5 years ago.
Okay.
We actually incorporated Rabbit Hole Brewing LLC was incorporated. As a matter of fact, it was 5 years ago yesterday.
Yeah, actually.
Happy
5 years ago. Belated that.
So we incorporated 5 years ago yesterday, but we started brewing in 2013.
Yeah,
So
the birthday we claim. Well, there's lots of dates we could claim. The one
Right.
we actually claim as our birthday is when
in
we had
December.
our launch party in
Okay.
December. Yeah.
Sweet. So, aside from the wonderful backstory and your own personal views on craft beer and drinking, what makes Rabbit Hole Brewing different? Either by the flavor, by the color, by anything.
You know, the thing is when you ask that question, and that's a very open-ended question for us. Part of our business plan and part of our mission statement was to bring misrepresented and underrepresented styles to the market. So we were one of the first, if not the first, in the state of Texas that had a true German-style Kolsch as a year-round beer.
I read that, yeah.
Our brown ale is a fusion brown ale, because brown ales at the time, people thought that, I'm not going to name names, but other brown ales were what was considered a brown. They were just watery.
They weren't respected.
Right. They thought brown was a color, not a style. Then we brought in an English-style pale ale, because there's all sorts of American pale ales and American IPAs. So we wanted to bring unique takes on styles. But that's not what makes us completely different. Yes, we do have different styles. We do take different looks at stuff. But the thing that makes us different, I think, is that we go outside of just the beer. I mean, we do try to make sure that our beers are unique and our beers are flavorful. But we're not also trying to come up with, what does Tom call it, the chocolate peanut butter, cranberry lambic.
Cranberry pumpkin lambic. We're not trying to reinvent beer. We're coloring, between the styles.
You're not the Willy Wonka.
Right.
Right.
But there are classic styles for a reason, and there's a lot of them that are very underappreciated. That we're trying to bring them back, bring them to the forefront, bring some attention to them.
But again, that's not. In our mind, that's not what really sets us apart. What makes us different is we really try to embrace the whole mentality of the rabbit hole. We try to make everything fun, because beer is fun. Beer's an exciting, and it's fun, and it's whimsical, and that's who we try to be. So we do a lot of different things that's outside of just producing beer that I think makes us a little bit different. One of the things is we have 3 different video series that we do on our YouTube channel. So we have a series called Tuesdays with Tom, which is, again, Tom's the one guy who's not here.
Right.
But every Tuesday he does a 1.5-minute, 2-minute rant on whatever is on his mind.
That sounds awesome.
It's very rarely about beer, but it's what's on his mind. So
sometimes he has a couple of weeks to think about one.
Right.
Sometimes he comes up with it on the spot.
Right. So he's talked about the hockey playoffs. He's talked about traffic in Fort Worth. He's talked about and just things that are on his mind. And so it's just a little
things that a lot of
whimsical
people can relate to as well.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, right now he's reminiscing about all the bad decisions that he's continuing to make.
Right. So
self-loathing, basically.
Right.
No, not so much. He's making them on purpose.
But then the second series that Matt and I do, we call it the Beer Jamification. So where we're trying to educate our fans on our beer.
Nice.
And it's not really and again, it's very whimsical. It's a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, the last one we did completely in rhyme.
Oh,
so
like you were doing earlier, Mr. Poe.
Oh, yeah. We were going back and forth. We were talking about one of our seasonals, and we did the entire thing completely in rhyme.
It was in the style of Lewis Carroll. It seemed appropriate.
That's what I thought you were doing at first, was like a Tiger Lewis Carroll thing.
Yeah, no, that was Poe.
Oh, still super cool.
But the Beer Jamification will tell you the history of that style of beer, a little bit of information about that style of beer. Then it will tell you a little bit about our version of the beer. It'll tell you where you can find it, just things like that. And so, and those are 2.5-minute shorts that we do. Then we have the one that takes the most production value is we have what we call our one-shot productions.
Production value.
Yeah, use that term very loosely. But we'll do movie spoofs. So we had a beer that we released a few years ago called Dark Snark, which is an export stout with strawberries. It's an amazing beer. But we did a whole video release based on Jaws. But instead of shark, everyone yelling shark, everyone was yelling snark. And so there was a lot of visual gags that were part of the Jaws movie that we put into that movie. Yeah. We also did Back to the Future. We've done...
How often do you do those? Is it a once-a-month thing? Because that is kind of a lot.
No, it's not once. It's about 1 to 2 times a year.
Oh,
yeah, but
okay.
Probably if we do once a quarter, we're aggressive.
Right. But again, it's more of the fact that we're just trying to be whimsical and just have fun.
No kidding. There's no other crappers out there that have a YouTube channel and just have fun with their fans and whoever wants to learn about anything.
And then we're actually working on a new one. It's very much in production right now. We filmed a little bit of the first episode, but it's still way pre-production. But we're going to start doing Clint's Corner. So Clint is our assistant brew master, but he's a super neat guy, really intelligent. He's also a certified chef. He is a welder. And he used to be He used to be a CPA and an executive at a very high-profile company. And so his shorts are going to be. We're probably going to release like one a month for him. But his is going to be the one we did was he was cooking chili, and he showed everyone how the proper way of cooking chili. And then the next one we're going to do, he's going to, I don't know, do some sanitary welding at the brewery, or
awesome.
The cool thing about Clint is he's, like I said, he's very intelligent, very smart, but he has this amazing dry sense of humor that is
amazing.
Yeah.
Check out the Rude Jester beer gamification video for an example of that.
What is your YouTube name?
It's Rabbit Hole Brewing.
Rabbit Hole Brewing. Okay.
Rabbit Hole Brewing on YouTube.
Go subscribe. That was awesome. That was so cool. Well, so then you have the YouTube. You've been around for coming on 3 years, or it's been 3 years since?
It's a little over 3 years.
Just over 3
years in December, so we're 3 years and almost 3 months.
So what's next for y'all? What do you have upcoming? Any events specifically, or any future goals to pursue?
We're pretty excited about what we've got coming up here. We just released our Off With Your Red in cans. That was actually. Off With Your Red was one of our seasonal releases.
Our most popular season.
It was our most popular seasonal release, and we were looking for which among our seasonals was going to become the next year-round beer.
Nice.
And Off With Your Red wound up taking the crown. It was the one that was the most popular. It was the one that was most frequently asked for.
Was it a summertime one or winter?
It was a fall. It was a Season of Fear beer.
Oh, okay.
The first time we put it on was Halloween.
Yes.
That first year we opened. That's when we watched all the Evil Dead movies. That was the beer of choice.
So
awesome.
we do 3 seasons.
Right. This is kind of another thing that makes us a little whimsical. I'll let Matt explain. But where everyone else has spring, summer, winter, and fall, we've narrowed it down to 3.
4 seasons is ostentatious. You don't need that many.
Texas doesn't even have 4 seasons.
No, we've got like 2 here.
Texas has summer and 3 weeks of not summer.
or this month we've had like all 3 of them just kind of in one big
1 week
pile.
Yeah.
It was summer yesterday. Today it's fall again. I don't know what it is.
It's cold. That's what it is. Hi.
It's been weird. Hi guys. There's for all you guys. There's people just walking out there. Every once in a while they'll wave at us randomly. Now we've got 3 seasons. Season of Fear. That's the Red Queen season. That's where all the really aggressive big beers, such as the Off With Your Red. That's when we release that. Then
it's an Imperial Red IPA that's 7.7% alcohol by volume and 88 IBUs.
Yeah.
So it's a very aggressive, in-your-face beer.
And it's brand new now, just recently available in cans.
Can you get it up here to Monk?
We're going to be shotgunning tonight.
Heck yeah. Oh, yeah.
So clearly, yes.
That's the royal we, right?
Yeah. Then the other 2 real quick. We've got the Season of Delirium. That is the Mad Hatter's season. That's pretty much from our anniversary, which is December 14, all the way through towards the Memorial Day, actually.
Right.
It's the longest of the seasons. That's when anything goes. We just put all kinds of weird, interesting stuff out there. And then the 3rd season is the Season of Virtue. It's Alice's season. It's the nice, easy, refreshing summertime beers come out.
All of our session beers come out at that time. The nice, easy drinking. I'd say session beers are saison is
Saison.
really
yeah, it's like 7%, but hey, it's a drinkable 7%.
It's a very drinkable. Yeah, it's a very drinkable beer.
But so we're really excited about the fact that we can now offer Off With Your Red in cans. Now it also means that it goes to year-round status. So we got to find something else to fill that slot where it was in our seasons.
Which we do, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But let's see, we just released our most recent seasonal was the Jabberbach. It's a Maibach. Again, a seasonal, a style of beer that you don't see all that often around here.
Very underrepresented in the southern United States.
Yeah, and so the bad news is we sold all of it in like 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
The good news is because we sold all of it in 2 weeks, decided maybe just to make some more.
Yeah.
So there's going to be an outage. There's going to be a little brief period through March where you might have a hard time finding it until we can spool that up because it is a challenging beer to make. It is a lager. It's the first lager that we've a proper true lager using lager yeast. First one of those we've ever made.
How exciting.
And so it went over very well. We're going to do that one again. In the meantime, though, we have another really good release that we're coming out with called the School of Bach.
Nice.
The School of Bach, actually, we did the Maibach in order to build up yeast for the School of Bach. That's an ice Bach.
Oh.
Now, an ice Bach is a very strong, very big, bold. Yeah, it's
Loud?
13.5%.
It's
Oh yeah.
It is, and it's going to be very.
And it's happening.
It's happening. Yes, it is
soon.
happening very soon. Now, one of the exciting things about this is it is part of our Blue Bonnet Brew Off Pro-Am series.
Oh, heck yeah.
Rabbit Hole Brewing is one of the sponsors of the Blue Bonnet Brew Off. Blue Bonnet Brew Off is it's the largest single-site homebrew competition in anywhere, as far as we can tell. Certainly in the country.
Oh, wow.
It had over 1,300 entries this year as a homebrew competition.
From not just Texas?
No,
okay.
all over. All over the place.
Sweet.
And so that competition happens every March in Irving, of all places. Irving, Texas.
Early March? Or
late March. March 24th, 25th.
Oh, sweet.
So March 24th, 25th, you can actually still get tickets to go to this event. It is open to the public. On Friday the 24th, they do a commercial tasting. We'll be a part of that. And on the 25th is when the homebrew tasting part is.
Sweet.
But as one of the primary sponsors of it, we actually select one of the first place winning beers of all the different categories.
Pretty cool.
So we will select that, and then the next year we'll brew it, and then it'll be released for the next year's. So the School of Bach is the name of this. It was brewed originally by Brian Schoolcraft, who was the winner of last year's Rabbit Hole Pro-Am competition.
Yeah.
And so in January, we brewed a commercial batch of his award-winning Ice Bach, and then we will be releasing that at the Blue Bonnet this year.
And in case you missed it, his name is Brian Schoolcraft.
Yeah.
So everyone calls him Schoolie.
Everyone calls him Schoolie, yes.
School of Bach. That's where it came from.
Okay.
That's where the name.
Yeah,
kind of
there might be a clue in there as to what our next video thing is going to
Yes.
be. So we're going to be doing that here. We didn't make a lot of it because it's a very difficult beer to make, but we made as much of it as we could.
Right.
It will be available at select locations of around places where you might have been before, and so that'll be available. Right around mid to late March.
Okay.
And there will be a very small handful of bottles available that we're hoping to be able to sell at the brewery.
So get them while they're cold.
If they change things around to let us do that. We can't do it yet, so I can't promise that. But if not, you'll be able to get them somewhere close by.
Well, sweet. That's awesome.
Maybe
That's super
at a
exciting.
place called the Bearded Monk. I don't know.
They might have some.
Maybe.
We gotta
Maybe.
If
I
you
gotta
don't-
talk to the owner, see
Yeah. If you don't make it then for their bottles or their cans, you need to come out tonight at 9 p.m. for shotgunning some beers with Matt and Laren and myself and Ben
Boom.
for the awesome after party
Boom.
that we have every Friday here at the Welcome Center. And also, just get your butts down here and try some of it yourself and meet them and talk
Yeah,
to
it's
them.
right over there.
Yeah, everyone outside, free beer. They're too young. I'm going to wait to say that again here.
Not for you.
There you go. Free beer.
Free beer.
Hey, free beer. Free beer.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you're hearing us
look
and
like
watching
wine
us, so
drinkers.
please come on down to
I
get
wanted
some
to pay
free
for the
beer. Yeah. Matt, Laren, thank you so much for being here, guys.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Well,
thanks for
thanks for
coming.
having us out here. We really appreciate it.
No problem. All right, and looks like we might have to wait a minute
Oh,
to not go.
We're going to keep going.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Jake's in the
Jake.
middle of a
And
conversation.
Trevor, could you?
There he
You
is.
wanna do
Trevor, could
You want to
you?
do quote the Raven there? You wanna do the,
I
We're
love it.
done.
do
Bye, guys.
do your,
Bye.